Blog Talk Radio.
Aloha, everybody, and welcome to Hawaii Psychic Radio. My name is Jennifer O'Neill, and I am your host. Today, I'm excited to do a topic that I did a blog talk show, I'm excited to do a blog talk show on a topic that I did on Inspirational Examiner. And for those of you who are new listeners, I try to have a theme across the different things that I do. And I do blogging. So on Inspirational Examiner, which is my blog, I will elaborate a lot of times and do a blog on something that I've done a post on. And so it basically a lot of times starts at Facebook, just to kind of walk you through that. I have a new book coming out called Inspirational Quotes, and it's based on, I have kind of made a, how would I say, a name for myself in doing quotes on Facebook. And so I started by just doing some observations with people and things that I would see, and the quotes people really liked. They became very happy and excited to see the new quotes that I would have. And so I used to do those on my Jennifer O'Neill Facebook page all the time. Well, I made a book based off the inspirational quotes. It is a new ebook that will be coming out within the next 4 weeks or so, and I'm really excited about that, so that'll be a fun thing. Everybody that has previewed the book have given me really great reviews. Even though I told them to be honest, they've told me they love it, so we'll see. Then off of that, I created a Facebook page called Inspirational Quotes, and that's where I do my quotes every week. So if you haven't gotten on there, I think you can join through Blog Talk here. But definitely go to Facebook to my Inspirational Quotes page. If you can't find it, you can find it off Hawaii Healings. There's a link. And Inspirational Examiner, there's a link. And so I had a quote about 4 signs to tell that you're truly happy. And I think that they're really good. We'll talk about that at the end of this program today. And off of that, there was quite a bit of a response, so I wanted to elaborate on that a little bit further, so I did that in my blog post on the Inspirational Examiner. So we're going to talk about that today on the Blog Talk Radio. I want to go through and elaborate even a little bit more. And also I want to answer questions of anybody that has questions about things that they're struggling with, so this will be able to do that. And so when I switched it over from my Inspirational Quotes Facebook page to my Blog Talk, excuse me, I have a bug in my throat today, I changed it to the 4 biggest mistakes people make when trying to find happiness. And so I'm going to start addressing these before I take some calls. Allergy season here in Hawaii, yeah. So they seem to be common across the board. And the first mistake of the 4 biggest mistakes people make, and by the way, these are in no particular order, one of the first mistakes that people make is your happiness is attached to your relationship status. Now, for people that are married a long time, for people that have been in relationships a long time, I want to be very clear on this, because obviously when you're living with someone on a day-to-day basis, if they have bad weeks or bad days or something, there are going to be times when it definitely affects your happiness, because, you know, they come home, say stuff, and kind of pushes your buttons, and it can become an argument. Or if you're going through a really hard time with whether it be, you know, like a death in the family or affairs or something, those are not the things I'm talking about. Those are not what I'm talking about when I'm saying your happiness is attached to your relationship status. That's very different. What I mean by that is, we're going to start with if you're in a relationship. If you're in a relationship and your partner seems to have a huge impact on your day-to-day happiness. The funny thing is, I don't expect a lot of people to know this, but your friends will. So if your friends are telling you all the time that, you know, you're too wrapped up in your relationship, that you're too concerned about what they're doing all the time, if your world begins to revolve around your partner, what they're doing, what they're doing now, and what they're doing now, that type of thing, that your focus tends to solely be on this partner and this relationship, and that's where things are all good and things are feeling like they're going well, or they're not cheating, they're not doing this, they're not doing that. So everything that they're doing is making you happy that day. That is a huge problem. And many of you may be laughing at this, but that's actually way more common than you think. I find this probably over 50% of the time. It's absolutely amazing how many people, their mood seems to be directly related to their partner. In fact, everything that their partner does can potentially give them a mood swing. And so that's like really not good. That's one of the biggest mistakes that you make when you're in a relationship. If you are not in a relationship, if you only seem to be happy when you're in one, big problem. This is what I would call your strike number one for both of those. It's normal to be lonely. It's normal to want a companion. But it's not normal, although people beg to differ and they think that it is normal. It's not normal to feel only happy when you're in a relationship. The reason I say, and let me rephrase that, it actually is normal for a lot of people to feel that way. It's not healthy to feel happy only when you're in a relationship. And the reason I want to rephrase that is because I can't tell you how many single people out there they're so looking forward to being in that relationship, and that's such a huge part of their life when they're in one, that when they're out of one, they feel incomplete. They feel that they're just really so lonely, that they're just terribly sad. They don't know when somebody's going to come around. They're feeling all these things, that they're feeling unloved, they're feeling unwanted, they're feeling like they can't do anything to, fill up their time. All of these things is a huge, huge problem. If you are not in a relationship and the only time you feel like you're happy is if you're in one, you need a lot of work to do. You have a lot of work to do. That means that you are going to try to fill your happiness with the relationship, which is even going to cause you further problems. That is really, if you're not in one and you're like that, when you get in one, you're definitely going to screw it up in a lot of different ways by having that perspective when you get into one. I don't mean to be really harsh, but you cannot expect to develop a healthy, long-term, fun, good relationship if you're not healthy and in a very good state of mind and independently happy when you're not in one. You can't take that type of behavior, put it in one, and then make the relationship better. It becomes like a cancer. So those don't work. So let me rephrase the mistake number one. If your happiness is attached to your relationship status, when you're in one or when you're out of one, it defines your relationship. Big, huge problem. And again, we're not talking about events that are happening in a relationship. I'm talking about your day-to-day happiness. Mistake number two, you have a contingency clause, or you have contingency clauses that are attached to your happiness. What does that mean? I'm going to give a lot of people a free pass on this one because they don't really know that they're doing this, but it means that, when I retire, then I'll be happy. When I get a better, then I will be happy. When I get this new car, then I will be happy. That's what a contingency clause is. A contingency clause is you have something, or usually more than one thing, that you're kind of waiting to be happy. You have to get it. You have to get to this certain goal. You have to get to this certain place. It's like you can't be happy until this thing is achieved. And, the problem with that is because we're human, because humans are like a fickle type of person, when one thing gets crossed off your happiness list, another thing will take its place right away. And so you cannot have contingency clauses. That doesn't work. You need to be able to find a happiness factor. You need to be able to find that without having it to depend on something, an exterior circumstance, an exterior material thing. Those don't create happiness. Those are just things that, I guess I want to say, it's a temporary happiness patch. You think that it creates happiness. It's a temporary patch. It really doesn't. It's just masking your emotions and reshifting them into another direction, so you sort of fool yourself into thinking, oh, I feel really good right now, when truthfully it's the patch, and when the patch wears off, you need another one. So it's definitely that contingency clause is more like a happiness patch. And I do have some callers on the air, so I'm going to get to you guys in just a minute here. I'm going to get through these mistakes first. Mistake number 3: if you are not pursuing at least one of your dreams. What does that mean? And why does that even matter? Because this is so incredibly important. When you're pursuing one of your dreams, when you're pursuing any of your dreams, it resonates with you on a soul level. And when you have when it happens and you begin to resonate on a soul level, you offer a different vibration energetically into the universe. Why does it matter? Because you begin to work with the laws of attraction, things begin to fall into place, life begins to get easier, opportunities will begin to present themselves. There's a whole snowball effect that happens when you are pursuing one of your dreams. And, if that isn't enough, it's really just fun. It's something that people enjoy. It's a good thing to have in your day if you're not even caring about the universal laws and all that sort of thing. One of the things that people commonly say is, I don't have enough time. I don't have enough time to pursuing at least one of my dreams. I just don't have time to do that. The interesting thing I find about that is there's been statistics done that people spend an average of 8 hours a month on Facebook. I suggest you use that time. So if you're not pursuing at least one of your dreams, that is mistake number 3. And mistake number 4, you're constantly looking for happiness in the future and you forget to experience it today. What do I mean by that? It's like when you're constantly have a goal or something that you're reaching for, whether it be retirement or a big house or paying your house off or whatever, you start your happiness begins to be defined by bigger and better things. So why does that matter? Because it desensitizes you the little joys in life, like things like a birthday party and having lunch with a friend or enjoying the weather or all of these little things. And so the next thing you know, your kids have grown up right before your eyes, and you were so preoccupied at dinner that you didn't really truly enjoy what was happening at the dinner time. You were preoccupied with stuff going on at work that you were trying to get handled. You were preoccupied with a trip that you were trying to plan. There was all these things that were preoccupying your mind, and that's a trained behavior. When you're constantly looking for happiness in the future and trying to get somewhere tomorrow and always the next day or the next week or the next year, you train your focus, you train your presence to not be in the present anymore. You train it to be in the future. And then, like I mentioned before, you become desensitized to the little things in life. You become desensitized to even your kids laughing. One of the most hysterical things to me is my kids play video games a lot, and my sons, they have so much fun doing it, and they're older, they're like 20 and 18, but they laugh hysterically, and I will sometimes just turn my computer or the TV, shut my computer down or shut the TV down and just listen to them laugh, because it brings me the most joy to hear that laughter. And so you need to learn to experience those things today and not forget about it and keep looking towards the future. And so I'm going to also run through a mantra for you that I want you to do at the end, but I want to take some of these calls. And so we're going to start here with the area code 617. Let me see if I can. Area code 617, aloha.
Hello, aloha. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you. My question is, I am very excited about 2012. I feel that my life is starting to move definitely in an upward
point. I have to stop
point.
you there. I'm just happy that you even just said what you just said.
Okay.
I have so many people that read about 2012. I'm like, wow, this is an awesome phone call already. I'm sad because you should be excited, but I'm sorry to cut into that. That was just
that's okay.
That was off the norm, so that was excellent. Keep going.
Oh, well, thank you. I feel like this is the year in which I feel truly empowered to follow after my dreams. I just want to know, is there anything that I need to know? Are there any blocks? Am I moving in the right direction? What do you say?
I do feel that you're moving in the right direction. I do want me. What are you pursuing right now?
You know, I'm not pursuing anything that's that's large and that I have to break down in little steps. I'm pursuing something that's very simple, like taking a yoga class.
That's amazing. So what you're doing,
your class.
But to me, I actually look at these as very large, because you're saying
yes.
You're doing it as these little things. But see, these little things are things that you've always wanted to do. So what you're doing is
yes.
you're actually on pursuit of happiness right now. And
yes.
so spiritually, you're beginning your pursuit of happiness, and that's a large thing. And that's one thing that I feel different from you, that started at the end of last year, the middle towards the end of last year, that's going to continue into this year, right?
Yes.
And so, that's the thing that I'm seeing. So it's huge. You're just looking at it as very simplified, and that's
right.
absolutely amazing. And I want to point out a lot of things that you're doing really right, because I think this is an incredible.
I need to hear that.
I think this is an incredible phone call for a couple of different things. It's perfect for the show on pursuing your happiness, and also it's perfect for the 2012 talk. As we move into 2012, what's happening is people's spiritual side of themselves that has been dormant for many, many years in their soul DNA and their spiritual genetic system is beginning to open, and it's beginning to awaken. And so for some people, it's really throwing them off kilter, because they're having different desires, different wants, different needs. And what you're doing is you're flawlessly unfolding into desires that are fulfilling yourself on a soul level without even really paying much attention to it. You've made it very simple for yourself, as in I sort of am going to follow my joy. I've wanted to do this for a while. It feels like you've come to a time in your life where you can pursue things for you right now. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes, because I've always pursued. I've got to have a job. I've got to do it for everybody else. And I'm like, you know what? I'm really tired of doing everything for everybody. It has affected me. It's put stress on me. It's put stress on my body. It's taken my energy. I mean, it's like I can't do this anymore. You know what? I want to paint. I just want to paint. It doesn't mean that I have to paint the landscape. I just want to put paint on the canvas and just let things flow. And I want to do yoga. It's like I want to do yoga.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know what? The first step is to actually get a schedule, to walk into a yoga studio and get a schedule. That was my first step.
Yeah, there you go. And so you broke it down in a very simple process. You went from the thought process to the walking in to grab the schedule.
Yes.
To the I'm going to take a yoga class. I'm going to find out about painting. I'm going to pick up paints. I'm going to do whatever. And so you are really flowing so nicely into your spiritual awakening and what brings you joy, that some really cool things are going to happen probably middle and end of this year, because you're going to see a lot of other opportunities flow into your life that you didn't even see coming, weren't even looking for. You were just along enjoying life, and all of a sudden there they are. Like, it's going to be amazing. I see a lot of changes for you coming around August, just because you're pursuing these little things that you love and that you want to experience. And some of them you may stick with, and some of them you may go, I loved it, now I want to try something else.
Yes. Yes.
And so
absolutely.
I love that you've shifted into that gracefully. That's a good word. You've shifted into this gracefully, because you have spent a large portion of your life really committed to, I almost want to say serving other people, because you.
No,
and
you're
I don't
correct. No, you're correct.
So you've spent a large portion of your life doing that, and you've decided, not in a necessarily resentful way, but in just like a powerful way of, now it's my time, And so you are going to have this amazing year. You're going to continue following your figuring out all these little things that you want to do, just like you said, walking into certain places and picking up schedules and developing what you want to do. And then around August, all these amazing opportunities that are going to start to fall in your lap. I see a lot of cool things happening in August on, because it's like you've pulled your vibration so up up high. You've pulled it up to such a high level just by pursuing things that you enjoy. And the other thing is, you're going to start finding about springtime and summertime of this year, you're going to sit there and feel so much more content on a soul level with happiness. You're going to be like in McDonald's or wherever, and you're going to find something so funny that you'll think to yourself, I would have let that slip by before. And I'm just finding such joy watching this child eat their ice cream or something. You know what I mean?
That's true.
So
that's true.
Yeah, you're really gonna. It's an amazing year. It's a year of change. You've started your change, like I said. It seems like about middle or end of last year, and you're going to continue to do that through this year. In August, you're going to be a whole new person going. You're going to feel lucky in August. So some stuff is going to come up around August. You're going to I can't believe how lucky I am. So I don't know what's coming for you then, but you're going to be like, I cannot believe how lucky I am. That's amazing. I'm so glad you called in. This was really fun.
Oh, you were so sweet. Thank you, because this is what I really have been, because sometimes you need that confirmation. You just want to know that you're moving in the right direction. What you're doing is right. Which I knew on a level, but I've been having some health issues, and I know that a lot of it is from stress.
Of course, it's all related. Health is always related to stress, but I do have one more call, and I don't mean to cut you off, but you'll have to go to my Hawaii Healing site, get on my email list, and then I want to hear from you in August. I want to hear what things are going on. Okay?
All right, honey. Thank you. Blessings to you. All right.
You too. Bye. That was a really fun call. I enjoyed that. I have another caller, 832. Are you there?
Hi. Yeah, I'm here. Hi, Jennifer. Thanks for taking my call.
How are you?
I'm good. This is Melissa.
Melissa, what's happening?
Well, I'm kind of in the same boat as the previous caller. I really feel like this year is a great year, and I'm actually acting upon some things that I've been thinking about for a long time. And I know that I need to raise my vibration, so I've been trying to make time to meditate, and I've been focusing on my health and different things like that. And so I wanted to get your feelings for how I'm progressing for this time. I've actually been trying to do what's called mindful, just being mindful in the moment, speaking of happiness. Mm-hmm. And I feel like my spirit is taking a turn for the better.
You're very similar energy to the last caller. Same things. I feel like more towards the end of the year, you made a conscious effort to make some changes in your life. What dreams are you pursuing?
Well, I actually signed up for a Reiki class. I am really feeling this very strong pull to learn Reiki and to just explore alternative medicine. And so that is what I've set out to do. I've also set out to focus on nutrition and exercise and spending time and outside, those sorts of things that are all important to me. Gardening, all of those things.
Okay. Now, and this is another great call because we're discussing two different aspects here that I want to cover. And one of the things is, again, you're pursuing the health field, Reiki, that sort of thing. That's an amazing good thing for you to pursue, that you're signing up and that you're looking for the classes. By the thing that you were talking about where what was it called? The mindful thing that you were talking about that you do every day?
Yeah, I was be mindful in the moment, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. That is really almost hard not to do when you do things that you love to do. So, you'll notice, I want you to pay close attention to this because it's going to help you move to the next level. When you're, gardening, because I feel like you really love to do stuff like that, when you're doing that and you're really enjoying that, you're going to feel that being mindful in the moment spill over into the rest of your day. It's like it becomes you want to be mindful in the moment, but if people just work on being mindful in the moment, sometimes it feels like more work than if they just think, okay, what can I do today? What would I really have fun doing? Like, so pay attention to what it is that you have fun doing, and then just really get into that thing, get into your gardening, get into your Reiki, and you'll start feeling that vibration raise when you're doing that. And then after you're done doing that activity, that's when you should practice being mindful in the moment. Does that make sense?
Okay. It does make sense.
Yeah, so I want you to try to, instead of necessarily, and you can do it however you want to, but my suggestion is the priority should be for that day, get up and schedule and do something amazingly fun, whether it, again, be the Reiki or the gardening or even going to lunch with a friend or whatever it is that sounds fun that day. Then do your mindful in the moment practice after that activity. Okay. And if you do that, I feel that you're going to gain momentum way quicker. Okay?
I will do.
Yeah. And so, go ahead.
Oh, no, you please go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. So I want you to continue to doing those things. And then also, you seem like you have a lot of things that you do. I feel like you have like several you could name right off the top of your head that are just like, well, I want to try this and do this. And in order, because your personality is a certain way, that I don't want you to spread yourself too thin and or disappoint yourself if you're not doing all of them. So go ahead and just pick your favorites. Pick your favorites, and they can be 2 or 3. They don't have to be 10. So I don't want you to overwhelm yourself too much. I want you to pick your favorites, do those for a while, and if you want to keep doing them, but then add some in later, like so that you're routining with a couple things, like maybe you're in a routine with the Reiki and the gardening and one other thing. Routine that for a while, then maybe add another. So don't try to overwhelm yourself, because what will happen is if you try to take like 4 classes or something, then you'll get to where you'll feel like you're not fulfilling the journey, the new journey that you're on, and then you might get a little frustrated. And I don't want you to get frustrated with this journey at all. I want you to just naturally just let it develop really, really nice, because you're also, through this year, you're having a really big spiritual awakening. So as this becomes to awaken to you, as you begin to open spiritually, you are going to, for you in particular, and just mind for anybody who's listening to this radio show, I read for the person that I'm reading, so I'm reading for you in particular. This may not apply to everybody, which is, as you begin to doing that, you're still learning to switch over from the what you're supposed to do and what responsibility lies for you, that type of thing, and what you feel like you should be doing, to what you really want to do and what is really good for your soul. So you'll go from left brain to right brain. I really want to do this, but people are expecting me to do this. Does that make sense?
Oh, it makes perfect sense.
Okay, so you're going to be struggling with that a little bit at the beginning of this year. And so kind of try to filter through those feelings and pay attention to your chest and your heart area when you're making a choice, okay? And that will help you with that process, because you also have people around you that probably question what you're doing. Okay, and so when you're on a pursuit, or they may even make cracks about it or whatever. And so in order to not feel, I don't want to say bullied, but feel bad because they've made a comment about your new thing that you're excited about, okay, you keep those things more to yourself, and then just decide, does it feel good in the heart for me to pursue this, or does it feel like a lot of work? If it feels like a lot of work and not exciting, don't do it. If it feels good in the heart center, pursue it, okay? So that'll help you filter through what you really want to do and what people are expecting you to do. So after you do that for a while, I feel like April area, you're going to kind of get it a little bit more and start feeling it's okay to pursue what you want to do, because you have an acceptance thing of, it's okay for me to want this. It's okay. I do a lot for others. I'm good. It's okay for me to do this. So I want you to realize that about April, you're going to come into more of, I really deserve this. I've done a lot for people, and my intent is good, and I think I'm going to continue on with my choice. I made good choices here. So about April, that gets easier, and then you start to come into a whole other different part of yourself. So there'll be a shift for you in April in who you are, and you'll feel more entitled to follow your joy, I guess I want to say,
That's wonderful.
Okay. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You have a wonderful day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Oh, bye-bye. And so I want to end this program, although that I've gone a little over, and I'm now recording, but that's fine. I want to end this with a mantra that I put on my on my Inspirational Examiner article, and it's at the bottom in case that you guys want to go there, cut it out and paste it or whatever. And it's called 4 signs that I truly understand happiness. And number 1 is my happiness is no longer attached to my relationship status. Number 2, I have removed all contingency clauses previously attached to my happiness. Number 3, I am pursuing at least one of my dreams. And number 4, I have stopped looking for my happiness in the future, and I've learned how to experience it in the present. So you can go on Inspirational Examiner, find that article. It's at the bottom. Cut it out, put it on your wall, put it on your mirror, whatever, and start looking at that and using that as you move forward. Thank you for joining me today. I should be back next week. I'm going to try to do that, I believe, do this show again on Friday. So step on over to the Inspirational Quotes page on Facebook or my Hawaii Healing site if you'd like more information. And we'll catch you next time. Aloha.
Ryan Seacrest here. When you have a busy schedule, it's important to maximize your downtime. One of the best ways to do that is by going to ChumbaCasino.com. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino games like spin slots, bingo, and solitaire that you can play for free for a chance to redeem some serious prizes. So hop on to ChumbaCasino.com now and live the Chumba life. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply.
Introducing Instagram teen accounts, a new way to keep your teens safer as they grow, like making sure they've got the right gear for riding.
Knee pads.
Check.
And helmet.
Done. See you, Dad.
New Instagram teen accounts, automatic protections for who can contact your teen and the content they can see.